I am going to do IRONMAN Tulsa.
Tulsa, Oklahoma?
The Sooner State.
Really?
I'm going to try and structure these videos a little bit for the next 10 weeks. I'm going to pick a session every week to talk about in a little bit of detail, or kind of give an insight into what the numbers actually mean relative to my ability, or what they will translate to on race day. As ever, everything I do, or 99% of the stuff I do, is all on Strava and is all available, so you can always go and look at everything I do, or lots of the key stuff I do every week. I'm going to cover kind of my high and low of the week. I try not to make it too similar to the sort of chat that Tom and Joe have on their podcast. Okay, so session of the week for week 1 of this block was my swim on Friday. This definitely was one of the sessions of the week that I executed best, but also was the first session translating my recent sessions over the last 6-7 weeks on a Friday from sort of pure threshold pace, which is your CSS pace or your like 1K time trial best pace, into some longer efforts, working up to what I would hope to hold for an Ironman. So this was 8 300s, with the first 300 being slightly over Ironman effort, and then the second 300 being slightly below Ironman effort, and repeat that 4 times through. For the over 300s, I was swimming around 125, 126 pace per 100, and for the overs, I was swimming 130 to 132 pace, which is about spot on for my aspirations and sort of what I've swam in previous Ironmans. I've got a pretty punchy goal of trying to get closer to 55 minutes. My best Ironman time is a high 57 at the moment, but to swim in that 55 to 57 minute range, you need to be swimming sort of 127, 128 pace, if not a bit quicker, over the Ironman distance. Obviously, one of the key challenges I have, particularly training for an Ironman in May in the UK, is there won't be an awful lot of open water swimming. So I'm working off pool pace. I am lucky that I seem to translate my pool pace very well to open water. That is something to consider when working out how fast you want to swim, or the paces you're trying to target if you were to repeat this kind of session. So the goal with this set is to get up to 10 400s, which is probably the session I'll do a couple weeks before the event, and the 400s all being at the same pace / effort. Hopefully can hold sort of mid to high 120s in a pool, and then that should translate into open water in a wetsuit, in race conditions, sat on feet, etc. I've already had a sneak peek for next week. The set is vaguely similar, although there's some changes of pacing within the reps itself, which looks quite good. This is a really key set that I think lots of people should do and should progress on building into an Ironman. You know, once you've done your speed work and done some aerobic swimming, you really want to tune into what that effort feels and looks like, even if it's in a pool pre-Ironman. Obviously, no one realistically can look at a watch or know what their heart rate is or any other metric while swimming. So in order to nail an Ironman swim, you really need to be able to nail that effort, which you will swim for an hour, hour and 10, whatever your anticipated sort of goal time is. You need to be able to tune into that, have full confidence that on race day you are swimming at that correct effort, so that you get out the water as fresh as you want to feel and could crack on the bike. So that was the best set, or the set I'd talk through this week. And yeah, we'll move now onto my highs and lows. My high of the week is my mum visiting this weekend, which has added to the chaos a little bit of training around her visiting, etc. But we had an amazing session yesterday
At the track.
Which was 12 lots of 3 minutes in blocks of 3. Was running a bit quicker than prescribed, but I was in carbon shoes and on a track, so that's my excuse anyway. But that was really good. Amy also joined for a little bit of her session. She's just getting back into adding some intensity into running after a bit of a hip niggle. my big high of the week would be to buy this house. It's on the market for 3.5 million. One day. I'd have to coach a lot of athletes. So yeah, that was my high. My low of the week has basically been not sleeping very well. Combination of things. One, I'm not generally a great sleeper anyway. I kind of sleep, walk and talk a little bit. Not all the time, but now and then, particularly if I'm stressed. Two, on Wednesday, I did a shift at an underground station to cover for some strike action at work, which meant a much earlier start than usual. 8 hours or so on my feet, plus travelling in and out of London. I know, cry me a river. I used to do it all the time, but you do it one day now and it's exhausting. So that disrupted it midweek. I then did have a good sleep Thursday. I took Thursday off work because I know how much the strike shifts tend to take out of me, and I wanted to make sure I got some training done that I missed, slash could do some training Thursday so I didn't have to do so much this weekend. But yeah, that's been my low. And then Thursday, so two lows as such. I had a day off work, the weather was okay, and I just did not enjoy it. 10k in. Oh, I don't want to be outside. What the hell is wrong with me? It's dry. It's a reasonably nice day. I'm not working. This is going to be long. I had 6 hours of training on the cards. I did it all, but the bike ride in particular, you know, 4 hours outside, should be smiling and cruising around, instead was a bit of a slog. Did a new route, or lots of new routes, kind of entertained me on some new roads, but I had road closures, it rained a bit, it was wet, I was on my own, there wasn't a coffee stop, all things that a bit rubbish. So yeah, although that's a first world privilege problem to have, a day off work and you go look for a long bike ride, but in my head I thought that would be the high of the week because I'm off work and doing what I love. But yeah, well done if you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you to Amy for helping me knock it together throughout our chaotic week, and hopefully things will settle down a little bit in the coming weeks. Next Sunday I've got the big 20-mile TR20 run down in London, and I'll be pacing, so hopefully that goes fairly well and I get to spend some time with Mr. Spraggins, and obviously Katie as well. But have a good one, cheers.